What's good, guys? All right, crazy time right now. Corona crisis, gym closures everywhere. Basketball court in my local park shut down. $1,000 fines if you're caught playing basketball outdoors in large groups. $1,000 fines if you're caught exercising outdoors in large groups too close together. So a lot of us are stuck indoors. Some of us have no gym equipment at all. Some of us don't have the stuff that we would prefer to use. So I thought this is a great time to put together 4 exercises that you can do at home with minimal or even no equipment. All right, 3 of these exercises you don't need anything at all, aside from possibly a chair. If you don't have a chair, well, exercise is the least of your worries right now. And the very first exercise, I would prefer that you have a mini band or a resistance band. But if you don't have one, I'll suggest 2 substitutions for you. All right. So when I put together these 4 exercises, I was thinking primarily of basketballers, people out there who are dying to play, can't play, but are still looking for ways to improve for when they get back on the court. All right. But these exercises are good for anyone who's looking to build strength from their glutes all the way down to their ankles. They'll help you develop strength in areas that we often overlook in our regular training, like the glute complex and areas around our knees. Develop some strength there and a balancing ability to take load off the joints in our knees, the ligaments, our ankles, all that sort of good stuff. All right. So whether you're a basketball player or someone who's just looking to improve a little bit in their agility and strength in perhaps neglected areas, you might be able to get something out of these 4 exercises. Okay, so I'm going to take you through each one and then right at the end just discuss how I would suggest using these in your day-to-day, week-to-week workouts. First exercise. Best thing of all to use for this is a mini band. This isn't even mine. I stole this from Owen because I might never see you again, dude, but I can't find where mine is. So I'm going to use this one for today. You can use a resistance band if that's what you have. So you start by taking the band, looping it over each leg just above the knees, like so, and then drop into a quarter squat, okay? Have your feet slightly pointed out and push out with your knees like this, okay? So this is the starting position. From this position, I want you to allow, I'll start with my right knee, I want you to allow your knee to cave in, like so, and then push out. That's 1. Okay, you're going to do 10 on each side. 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10. Onto the other side. So the knee comes in. 1, 2, 3, and you'll see as I do it, the arch of my foot engages, and that arch becomes more pronounced as I push out with my knee. All right. So our glutes, this is where you start to feel the burn on the side there. They play an important role in promoting that outward motion of the knees. All right, we're trying to prevent this sort of collapsing of the knees that you see, particularly in flat-footed people. I have flat feet. Yep, but it's good for anyone who's doing a lot of jumping, a lot of turning. Good for anyone who does anything with their legs, really. Okay, so after you've done 10 on each side, you're then going to drop into these. These are called crab walks, some people call them monster walks. All right, so slightly higher than that quarter squat position, still pushing out with your knees. We're going to walk 5 times this way, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 times that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you do this, you're going to continue to focus on pushing your knees out, okay? And you're going to start to feel that burn all from about here to right about where your jeans pockets would be. That's a good cue. If you feel that burn there, you're doing it right. If you don't, you might need a tighter resistance band, or you might need to move in a more exaggerated manner. So bigger steps, more push out with the knees, okay? Now, if you don't have a mini band or a resistance band, what you can do instead is just assume that same position, quarter squat, knees pointing out, but now you're going to need to think the exercise a little bit more. So you're going to let your knee collapse in and then push out, really push out and hold for 2 seconds. 2, 2, and then same on the other side. 1, 2, 1, 2. Same deal as before, 10 on each side. And then, instead of those crab walks, you're going to drop down on the side, okay? Lie on your side like so. Stack your legs one on top of the other, okay? Then take the top leg, keeping the legs straight, slide it back slightly, so it's hovering slightly behind the leg that's on the floor, and then raise that leg under control, nice and slow, up like this. 1, 2. 1, 2. Do 5 each leg. Roll over, do the same on the other side. Okay, so that's the first exercise. Just to recap, you go down with the band, do 10 each side, do 5 walks one way, and then 5 walks back. All right, now, if you've got the band around your legs, take the band off, drop down onto the floor. Now we're gonna do some frog bridges. This is a modified bridge, which focuses even more on your glutes and your hips, those muscles that we were targeting in that previous exercise. So you start by putting your feet together, soles of your feet together like so. Drag your heels in towards your groin as far as they can comfortably go. Okay, don't force anything. And then lie back down, avoiding any couches that might be in the way. All right, so heels in as close as you can. You're going to engage your hips, squeeze your butt and drive up so that your groin moves towards the ceiling, and you get a nice diagonal from your shoulders like so up towards your hips. All right, so that's 1 rep. I want you to do 10. Now, if by the time you get to 10, you don't feel like that's been any work at all, if you're avoiding using any extra weight, then I want you to add a 2-second pause at the top, like so. 1, 2, okay? If you do have weights handy at home, you can always just slap a dumbbell on top of your pelvis and that'll do the trick, okay? But the goal of all these exercises is not really overload, right? We're not trying to cause any sort of significant muscle size gains. We're really focusing on developing awareness of different muscle groups that we might have neglected in the past and making sure that those muscle groups are getting some attention in our workouts, okay? So those are the frog pumps, frog bridges. All right, and back on your feet. Now we're gonna do single leg deadlifts, okay? These aren't, that name's kind of misleading, but that's what I learned them as anyway. So, because you're not lifting anything off the ground, this is really more of a balancing specific exercise. Okay, so from the side, so you can see me clearly, you're going to keep your knees soft, not locked out. I'm going to start on my right knee, right leg. Okay, arms straight out in front of you. Okay, and then you're going to have your arms go down as your left leg goes back out as straight as you can. All right, so like so, soft right knee as I mentioned. Okay, swing down. Okay, and touch your toes or as near as you can, okay, and then come back up slowly, okay. Now it's good if you feel a little bit of a wobble. I'll show you the left side now. We want that wobble and we want to learn how to stabilize and minimize that wobble, all right? So, like so, arms go down, hands go towards my toes, right leg extends out as far as I can and as straight as I can behind me. Okay, yeah, so as much as you can, try and avoid stumbling, of course. That's an exercise I want you to do 5 on each leg. Okay, if you find that it's too hard, your leg fatigues, you start wobbling out of control. If you do 5 on each leg before switching over to the other, then obviously go 1, 1, 2, 2, all the way up to 5. Okay, all right, final exercise. These are pistol squats. Some of you might know these, some of you probably don't. If you can, do them on one leg like so, all the way down, unassisted, okay? I'll show you from the side with the other leg. That's a pistol squat. Some of you might not have the strength, the balance, the ankle mobility, or the calf flexibility to do that. That's not a problem. That can be a longer term goal, something that you work towards. And if you want help with that progression towards a full pistol squat, let me know. I can do a video on that. There are all sorts of ways that you can, even with things around your house, build up that flexibility and strength to get to a full pistol. But I mentioned a chair or a bench. Bench works just as well. I've got a plyo box. This is for if you can't do a full pistol. You use the box the same way you would use the box or the chair or the bench, same way you would use a bench or a box for horse squats or box squats. All right, so you're going to come down and then, not resting too long, you're going to, with as little forward rocking momentum as possible, push up and come back up, okay? show you from the side with my left. Coming down. And like I mentioned before, don't rock forward. Okay, we don't want to see you do this. Go down, and then, because you're taking a lot of the effort out of the legs. Alright, you're just using that momentum to force yourself up. So with pistols, I'd like you to be able to do 5 on each leg. Ideally, 5 consecutive on one leg before swapping over. But like I said before, if that's a struggle, 1, 1, 2, 2, all the way up to 5. These 4 exercises are obviously not designed for getting the heart rate jacked up through the roof. This is not a cardio workout circuit. Neither is it really a muscle size and pure strength development circuit, all right? For those, there are other exercises you can do. Ideally, you have access to some weight because that's the quickest and easiest way for most people. These exercises are designed to make you a little bit stronger in certain muscle areas that might have been ignored, like I mentioned before. They also help you become a little bit more aware of how these muscles help you move. I mentioned earlier, those hip muscles are important for making sure your knees point out. Through exercises like the ones I've shown, you become more aware of that outward push, okay, which is really, really good. It's good to know your body a little bit better, all right? These exercises also help with your balance, okay, through the entire length of the leg, from the hip to the ankle. And that's really good for awareness of where your body is in space. That can help minimize the chance of ankle injury, along with other sorts of things. Although you can never really totally negate injury risk, of course. But you can take steps such as these to make things a little bit safer. All right, well, I hope this video helps. Hopefully it takes away some of the anxiety some of you are probably feeling about having no gear, no equipment. There's a ton of stuff you can do at home, guys. Stuff that'll make you stronger, stuff that'll satisfy that workout craving, stuff that'll even help you be a better ball player when you get back on the court if you're a hooper. So, if you found the video useful, please let me know. I'd love to hear from all of you. If you watch this on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.